KMLE itself in the country world is a career-changing station. It's one of those stations where I could go to Nashville and meet any artist and say, oh, I do mornings on KMLE Country. I don't even have to tell you that it's Phoenix. They know exactly who you are. They know when you started to play their song. They know the backing that you've had for them. It's just one of those stations where we will change your life if you're an artist because we have so much power behind it.
It's not like the Ryan McMillan Show.
It's true. It's
you
true.
know, it really is. I'm
Probably.
saying the same thing. Tom, Dick, and Harry. I like it.
Yeah.
Tell us about your dad.
So my dad is my dad. So my dad has been a firefighter for the majority of my life. I actually remember the night before my dad did his very first interview to be a firefighter. So I grew up in a very small town called Moxie, Washington. It's in like the central area of Washington. And when he first started, it was basically volunteer only. And then like Monday through Friday for the career guys, they hadn't switched to career work. So when he first applied for the fire department, it was to be the fire prevention officer. So we were sitting at the table. The kitchen table was a long one. And I remember him putting all of these things into a basket to like get the kids' attention for fire safety. And it was random things that he pulled out of our rooms. Like, this is a fire hazard and this is a fire hazard and don't leave this on the floor. And then he went to his interview the next day and he came home and he had the job. And he's been a firefighter ever since. And I want to say that I was like the third grade. So it's the majority of my life. My dad's been a firefighter. And he's obviously worked his way up the ranks because you don't just stay as a firefighter, you know. So he's a captain, I believe.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I haven't been home in a while.
So he still works for a living.
He still works for a living.
So he's not a chief.
He's ready to retire. I don't think the town would let him be
I'm not
chief.
supposed to say that.
He would try to be chief, and they'd be like, okay.
I love all of my chiefs.
They're wonderful. We love them all. So yeah, they won't let him do that.
So trying to retire?
I think he's planning on retiring the next couple of years, actually.
Okay.
I think his original plan was to retire like this year or next year, but someone of seniority decided to retire this year, so then they were like, hey, you kind of got to wait.
Bumped him down the line a bit.
Yeah. So he's just kind of hanging out and biding his time. It's either that or sit at home and do nothing. Like, what is he going to do? He's not going to do anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm contemplating the same thing. Like, nothing sounds great.
Right.
But I'll get bored really fast.
I've heard that a lot with a lot of other friends who have left the fire service because it's an adrenaline rush every shift. Every call is an adrenaline rush.
It's different, right? You know, when you're sitting behind a desk, you know, it's not that that's not hard work, but it's just the same work. Like, you're doing the same stuff, and even like the same nature code of calls. Like, everything is there's so much variety to even a difficulty breathing. Like, something in the background happens, or like the story, or so like makes everything unique. So it's different every day. Really, what guys say they miss is the camaraderie.
Yeah.
I remember being right off probation, and I was sent to a slower station, and I was out washing the truck. I was the only one out there, and some guy pulls up, I don't know, he's street clothes with a coffee mug, and he comes up, he goes, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. Can I help you?"
The coffee mug in the truck is the most classic firefighter thing to do.
I'm like, "How can I help you?" He's like, "Nothing. I'm just only place you can come get a free cup of coffee anymore." I'm like, what?
Don't you guys drink Folgers and like the grossest coffee ever?
That's in my dad's firehouse.
Heathens drink Folgers, but yes, Folgers has been a staple. And actually, I was never a coffee drinker before. So I started drinking like everybody's doing. I'll drink Folgers, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I didn't know what I was drinking. I'm like, this is what coffee is. Okay, yeah.
Just put a bunch of cream and sugar in it.
Had I known that coffee can actually be amazing, most guys just, and the way they call it cowboy coffee, right? You just fill up the filter, just chock full. There's coffee grounds in like your cup.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. The guy that says that, make the cowboy coffee, then puts all the creamer in it. It's like,
you don't like the coffee. You like the sugar that you're dumping into it. Be serious.
Yeah, so he goes in to get a cup of coffee, and I come following him in like, who is this random dude off the street? And they're like, oh, this guy retired like 5 years ago. He still comes by to drink coffee. Well, they miss it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's third of your life. I don't know what his schedule is. Ours is 24 on, 48 off.
That's what they're on now. No, 48 on.
48.96.
Yeah, 48.96.
Man, that's a long time.
It's a long shift.
There's some there's some departments around here that do it. Our guys, some of them want to do it. The chief says absolutely no way. We'll see. But it's like when you're hanging out with your buddies, happen to be at work.
Yeah.
You know,
1,000%.
And so you leave from this guy's era. A lot of guys now are leaving at 20, 25 years. From that guy's era back then, I mean, they were 30 plus years, all of them.
They're lifers.
So, yeah, for 30 years, that's a third of your life. That's
Yeah.
what you know. And then to just leave, they miss the.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, it's like it's such a good old boy system that you live and die in the firehouse. Like even for me, because I worked with my dad for a while as an EMT on an independent ambulance, but then I volunteered with the fire department to do their rehab unit. You grow up in the firehouse.
Yeah.
Like this, that's why I always joke that you can't offend me. It's hard to offend me because when you grow up around old farming firefighters, there's nothing that they can say that will offend you. It's just it's how you live.
Yeah, you definitely. I'm sure it's a lot like being in the military. Like we'll say stuff in the firehouse. I'm like, whoa, there's mechanics out there, man. Be careful what you say, dude. You know, it's like
you can't say that around normal people. Normal people don't understand our type of humor.
Yeah, it's
So.
a little morbid, and but it's
It's heavy morbid. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
it's
pretty
fun.
morbid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So EMT, how long did you do that?
I did that for a couple of years. It's actually something I'm really proud about because when I decided to be an EMT, I was fresh into a divorce. Like it was okay, we're getting divorced. All right, well, I need to do something. So I decided to be an EMT. So I finished all of EMT school, being a single mom, and then took my national EMT exam, finished that as a single mom. And then I worked full time and worked on an ambulance and volunteered on the fire department, all as a single mom. So it's a really big, amazing feat for me. But it didn't last long, only because honestly, I got really tired of seeing people that I knew overdose. Mm-hmm. And that's anytime people ask me, hey, I think I should do this, I go, well, how do you feel about watching people you love die? Because it's like the hardest thing to do, especially when it's people you've known your whole life.
Yeah, you're in a small town.
Small town.
So
I mean, Moxie itself right now is like under 5,000. When I graduated, it was like maybe 2,000.
Wow.
So it's not very big. And even like Yakima, which is like the greater area, is not big. It's under 100,000 people. So everybody knows everyone. And everybody who's doing, illicit drugs knows everyone. Mm-hmm. And eventually you're going to find somebody you graduated with. And it was the worst. And then I watched my dad struggle because, we don't teach our firemen how to deal with trauma and PTSD. No. It just gets bottled down inside. And then, you see all these other issues come. So if you're not dealing with it right.
Yeah.
I've heard that's the best way to deal with it, though. Just bottle it up and just keep it down there as long as you can.
Never talk about it again.
Never
just push
talk
it way
about
down there.
So we're moving past that subject. But honestly, that's why I stopped doing it because I didn't want to watch people that I loved for 20 years die.
It definitely, there's an art form to it, but you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Right. To be able to see the things you see and then move on like nothing happened. But at the same time, that's not great. So you have to have outlets. And just like, military, same thing.
No, we just
bottle it up. They teach you to bottle it up.
Yeah.
That's a class. That's a 2-week long training. Actually.
Yeah, could you imagine a bunch of Navy SEALs sitting around like sharing their feelings together?
You guys don't cry when you're in the...
We were crying like, oh, it's okay, buddy.
Honestly, I would pay money to watch that. Yeah. I would just be like, this is the most entertaining thing in the world.
Maybe in today's military.
Let me just caress you gently until you feel better about this. Yeah, well, a lot of it's the military fire departments, that macho culture.
Absolutely.
Of, hey, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you got to hold the world together, man. I mean, it's hard to be sensitive when you're trying to hold the world together.
Yeah. Yeah. I get accused of that a lot. Oh, man, you're like a robot. You have no emotions. It's like, well.
We had one guy in our Buds class who he claimed to be a vegan, and he was this just weak, frail guy, and he was such an outcast. It was such a weird thing because he was kind of the soy boy vegan, and when you're 20 and you don't know how, you're just operating off of instinct. Everybody's just bashed him.
He obviously didn't graduate.
He did not graduate.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
He was in, there was like a little medical, when you get hurt, especially before you even get to buds, you kind of are operating in this like little side unit.
Yeah.
He was in there the whole time.
Tell me you're not going to graduate buds without telling me you're not going to graduate buds. Hey guys, I'm a vegan.
Hi, I'm vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Like being in a career, like, and it's finally starting to come out, and they're like, Phoenix Fire Department has a great like peer support program, and they're really starting to do some good things. But the stigma is still, I'm not going to talk to anybody about this because I'm less of a man or I'm less of a whatever. And they started getting medicals approved for PTSD. And my thing was always like, no, dude, we don't have PTSD. You signed up for this. You knew what you were getting into. Just do the job. PTSD is saved for people that, like Vietnam vets, went through like just absolute like treacherous combat, not us. And then you start seeing guys get pretty messed up by it.
Yeah.
And how they deal with it or don't deal with it.
PTSD is a silent killer.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm a huge advocate for mental health. I've been through so much in my lifetime outside of, the traumas that you get in the EMT world and stuff like that. And you just see so much. And you see a lot of people not acknowledge PTSD and the various forms that it comes in, because it manifests in so many different ways. For me, I had episodes of PTSD that manifested in a physical form to the point where they thought they were going to have to take out my entire reproductive system, like a full hysterectomy in my mid-20s, because my PTSD was manifesting like in my uterus, essentially.
Well, it's tough because it's not like the diagnosis is not clear cut, right?
No.
Yeah.
And so then most guys will just be like, I don't have it. Okay, yeah, this is just me being a pussy or whatever, know? And so that is the hardest thing about PTSD is like identifying that you actually have it, or even the TBI injuries too.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh yeah, I know my recall's a little bit slow, but that's just it's probably been that way the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
Or I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I don't have enough of these on board. Hold on. I got a recall going here.
Or at a Fifth of Jack last night. If you just keep drinking, then you can always blame it on the booze.
Yeah.
You could always do that. And then we'll have bigger problems. It's fine.
Just bury them.
Everything is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that the booze is good for, is just you can always have an excuse for why you're why you can't remember shit.
Yeah. So EMT, and then how did you transition into your current?
That's a much longer story that has a pre-story. So I met my previous co-host when I was rebuilding my life at, it was like 28, 29.
Was that out here or were you still in
No, so I was in my hometown. I was in Yakima, my hometown.
Okay.
And I just moved back. I'd just gotten out of a very abusive relationship who had moved me thousands of miles away from my family. I had moved back and kind of had worked a job that I didn't really love. So then I found something at Planet Fitness where I could work overnights. So I was working overnights, just running cleaning, the overnight girl thing, right? Yeah. And this guy kept coming in at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, like 3-4 days a week. And nobody goes into Planet Fitness at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, let me be honest. If you do, it's because you are homeless and you carry a membership so that you can shower, or you're traveling and you need to shower. Like nobody's working out at 3 o'clock in the morning except for this guy. And one day I was finally like, bro, what do you do for a living? Like, why are you here? Are you a teacher? And he was like, no, I work for the radio. And I was like, okay. Again, my hometown, there's only so many radio options. So I knew who he was. And his voice clicked the second that he had said something. So at the time, I was also going to school to be a health and life coach because I had been through so much. And I had learned so much. And I was like, I'm going to change people's lives. Like, we don't have a health and life coach. I'm just going to take the world on by storm. I had big dreams, okay? Really, really big dreams. I was going to connect with the hospital. I could go on. I had all this stuff. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to advertise. The perfect route to advertise is radio, and I now know a radio guy. So he came in the next day, and I was like, hey, this is what I got going on. Can I advertise with you guys? Can you give me a number? And he was like, I have a better idea. My co-host just quit. Do you want a job? And I went, yes, absolutely. So I gave him my email. We sent a couple emails back and forth that day, met for coffee 2 days later, and I was on air a week later.
Okay. Well, can I stop you right
Yeah.
there? So He finds you. How did he know you could even do it?
If I called him today, he would tell you. He would say, She was the nicest person at 3:00 in the morning and smiling that I wanted to know what she could do on a full night's rest at 6 a.m.
Wow, that's cool.
And I delivered.
So he just knew.
He just knew.
Had you picked for morning show host immediately?
Yeah. 1,000%. And it was, and I will give him all of my credit. I owe him so much. He changed my life in ways that I will never be able to repay him. So I'm so entirely grateful. I was so grateful. I worked for free for a month. I would go do my night shift at Planet Fitness, and then I'd turn around and immediately go to the station and do an entire shift for free for a month.
Nice.
What does a shift look like?
There?
Yeah, at a station.
The station there was old. Radio stations are always old, especially in small towns. This one was better of the two. So there's two major radio stations in my hometown. One of them is very dingy. Like you probably get asbestos. Like it's probably got asbestos in the
Like
walls.
the old
got
KUPD building in Guadalupe?
I haven't seen that one, but I've heard of it. So
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Worse.
It's worse. But ours was really cool. It was a 2-story building, but we had these beautiful windows that looked over into the valley. And when it would snow, like the fresh snowfall was so pretty. I don't have windows now, so I really miss that window. But it was a small studio. It was honestly no bigger than literally from that camera to the wall. Like it was tiny. And it was just us in the mornings. It was so great though. It was awesome. And so we were there bright and early, did the show, and then this particular company I used to work for made you had to write 2 blog posts a day. Didn't really matter what it was about, but you had to do that. So we write the blog post.
Lot.
I know. It gets to the point where you're like, hey, who in town has the best fry sauce? Let's debate it.
Do you still have those recipes? I'd be interested in those.
You'd be surprised the fry sauce recipes that I have. Because yes, I love fry sauce. I'm a sucker for good fry sauce.
Right.
Any sauces make everything better.
Sauce is the
Ketchup, ranch, Thousand Island,
fantastic.
But can we
In-N-Out sauce.
Can we draw the line at A1 though?
Oh yeah. Well, no. If you're using A1, yeah, you might. Yeah.
I made some fillets at the station, like pan seared them, do the whole thing, and my old captain at the time, he breaks out the A1, and I'm like, "What are you doing, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, steak sauce."
He probably ordered it medium well.
I'm like,
too.
"That's
Oh
not
my
steak. That's not
gosh.
steak sauce. That's shoe polish. Dude. It's not steak sauce." But can we at least respect the fact that 1862, during the middle of the Civil War, somebody was like, "You know what this country needs right now? Good steak sauce."
You have to respect that.
We can respect that.
You know what I mean? Like,
that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not doing anything right now. The whole country's at war.
You want to know what I'm going to do? Invent steak sauce.
You know what?
You know what the fellas could really use on the front line right now? Good steak sauce.
That's an American right there.
That is a patriot.
That
It might have been Sam
I think
Adams.
that's a black eye on the country.
Yeah.
You know, we've made some decent things, but A1 sauce is not one of them.
It's not. It's not what it claims to be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, we were rudely interrupted. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're totally fine.
What type of station was it? What?
So I was on a country station. I've only ever been on country.
America.
I have like this name picked out. Cheyenne is my legal name. Cheyenne is my given name. I really wanted to go by Sunny. I got that shot down really, really fast.
They were like, no thanks.
Well, it wasn't that they didn't like it. It was that I was already established in the city.
Okay.
So they wanted the familiarity. Okay. So,
Makes sense.
and Cheyenne's pretty
Yeah.
country. So they were like, actually, we're keeping this.
Yeah.
And everybody for the rest of your life will know who you are because you don't have the ability to change your name, which is how it's been. So I don't really have an escape, unfortunately, like most radio people. Because a lot of them don't go by their real names. So
So
it's
then
just me.
morning show, like, so what does that kind of look? You go in and you're immediately on the radio, or you have
No, so I give myself a buffer time. We all do for the most part. The good ones give themselves a buffer time. So I'm in about 45 minutes ahead of our first break. It allows me to get in, clear my head if traffic sucks and I'm pissed off because someone didn't use a blinker or, something stupid.
Now, is this video or only audio?
At the station?
Yeah. Are you broadcasting in video or just audio?
No,
Just
we're
audio?
only
Okay.
audio. Thank goodness.
So that helps. You can
I
roll
only
in
put
hair
makeup on today because I knew I was coming here. Like if I have to put a full face of makeup on at 5 a.m, I'm the crabbiest person in the whole world. Yeah, so it's just audio in the mornings. And we do social because that's a part of radio now.
Yeah.
If you're in radio, you're also a social media influencer. It just is what it is.
So do you guys do all the posting, or do they have somebody that does it? You just you guys make the content.
It's contributed from all of us, all of the on-air personalities. We also have a content guy, like a social media guy, who's fantastic. He does all the really, really good stuff. When it looks really good, somebody professional did it, not us. Because we aren't professional. We just,
That's half the
we're a
fun
bunch of
sometimes,
talking people who they gave phones to and said, "Here, post this." And we went, "Okay." Like,
It's all blurry, out of focus.
it's out of focus. Things are spelt wrong all the time. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I got other things to do. So, yeah, we get in about 45 minutes before the show starts. I print out a bunch of prep that we did the night before, print out our show sheets so we know what's going on. And then we just hang out. I get to hang out with the coolest people in the world every single day. My producer is awesome. My new co-host is fantastic. And we just chill.
So it's
just
crazy that
hang
you
out.
just fell into this. Like
am-
you were dead set on doing this life coach thing, and then all of a sudden, I don't know how many years later, but years later, you're still doing it. And
Yeah, I am the most blessed person on this planet. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I'm still here.
Do you feel like a lot of people in radio have gotten like broadcast journalism degrees or
Yes.
gone to school for it? And
I
kind
am
of
the
what they know?
anomaly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't start as an intern like a lot of people do. I didn't work my way up the ranks. And in fact, so radio is done by markets. So, like market 1 is New York. It's the biggest radio market in the country. And then
Screw
LA,
those guys.
Chicago, Dallas, Houston, all those things. So Phoenix sits at market 13 because it's done by Phoenix proper? No, Phoenix Metro, not Phoenix proper. So the smaller division of Phoenix. So we're market 13. My hometown is market 200. So I went from not even on the radar to being in a major market in a year because of who I was with and the opportunities that he created, and then I got to come along with. I don't know why I'm here.
Is he still stuck in your hometown?
No, we actually moved together.
Oh, did you? Oh, cool.
So I started with him in September of 2018. In September of 2019, so a full year later, he came to me and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to apply for this job in Phoenix." And I said, "Great. Good luck." I had zero intention of leaving. I'd already been gone for so long, and I knew I needed my family, and I knew what morning radio took in a small town. So amplify that by 2,000. I wasn't going to have, there was just no way as a single parent. What was I supposed to do? So he said, "Okay, cool. I'm going to apply." And I said, "Good luck. I'm here for you."
I'll miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss you when you're gone. Bye.
I'll go find somebody at Planet Fitness.
I'll take
for
your
the
spot. It'll
role.
be fine. And then a couple weeks later, he came back to me and he was like, "Hey, they want to talk to you." Because when you apply for a radio position, you send in air checks. So you take your breaks, your best breaks, you send them in. They listen to them, and then they, can tell if they like you or not, like your vibe. And he was like, "So the air checks I sent in," and I didn't know this at the time, so he's having to explain it to me, had you on them, and they liked you, and they would like to talk to you. And I said, "Okay, well, they can talk to me all they want to. I'm not going anywhere." So they flew us down the day before Halloween in 2019, and put us up at talking stick. They pulled all the stops. They were like, "We're gonna show them what this really looks like." And I remember driving in and being so confused about the road layout here. Because Yakima has 10 roads, okay? 10 major roads. There's one major freeway. There's none of these loops and intersections and roads that go the same way, but you have to turn onto the light rail to get to that street. There's none of that in Yakima. So I was very confused and very turned around. I had a great visit. Wonderful visit. They were having their Halloween party the day that we came. It was
Weather was decent.
Weather was stunning. It was end of October. It couldn't have been. I still have the picture I took in the parking lot of the studio of me just being like, "Oh my God, this is so nice."
Yeah.
Well, I have to go back to freezing cold Washington. And we're in the office, and I will never forget this. We were sitting in my old boss's office, and he said, "I sent you both an email, and I need you to look at it right now." So he pulled up our emails, and in our emails are contracts offering us these jobs, which was significantly more pay than I was making in Yakima. I was not making a lot. First of all, people in radio don't make good money, okay? Our pay is not great, so let's just get that out of the way. But it was more than I was making in Yakima, and I went, "I don't know if I can sign this."
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. So I went back home. Back up a little bit. I got married at 19. I was married and divorced by 22. So we got married young, had a kid, divorced, all the things. Then I got into an abusive relationship. So there was a lot of moving parts in my life at the time. So I get home, I call up my ex-husband, I have a conversation with him, our son, and his wife. And I was like, here's what I got. What can we do? Are you willing to work with me so that I can make decent money to be able to give our son a little bit more than I would ever be able to do here? And they were like, well, let's look at, then you got to factor in flights and unaccompanied minors, which 10 out of 10 recommend if your kids are ever able to fly unaccompanied. It's so good for them. Gives them a world of independence you didn't know your kids needed. So we went through all of the steps, we pulled random dates in the year to look to see how flight prices were, the amount of research we did. And then all of us collectively as a family, because we are a family unit, went, this is the best option. If you're going to be able to provide him anywhere near what you want, you have to leave. And the you have to leave was what did it for me. Like, you got to get out of here. Go live a life, and we got you. And they've had my back ever since. It didn't matter if flights needed to change, if, we had to manipulate a vacation, if he missed 2 extra days of school so that we had a little bit more time with him. It didn't matter. My ex-husband and his wife showed up so that I could live this dream and give my family what my family deserves, which has been really, really great. So went through all that, signed it. I signed, I think like November 5th or something, somewhere around there. And I moved to Phoenix on December 14th. A month later, I lived in the Doubletree Motel, the Doubletree Hotel right next to, Castles and Coasters, right down the road from Castles and Coasters. I lived there for 2 weeks with 2 kids, one still in diapers. It was wild. But shout out to them because I pulled up at like 1 o'clock in the morning on the 15th, and we walk into our room. They had set up a Christmas tree for the kids. Aww. They bought the kids Christmas presents so that they had something to open. I had to work Christmas Eve. We came back to the hotel room. They had cookies and milk for the kids to leave out for Santa.
This is the radio station?
No, this was the hotel.
Oh, really?
That was the hotel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they took such good care of us. And it was, honestly, it was one of the easiest transitions just because that support I was terrified to not have, I had right up front. And it was the coolest thing. And I've been here ever since. And I love it here.
So you work for Camel Country.
Yes.
Is that its own organization, or is that just a name that there's a bigger company behind it or some organization behind it?
Yeah, so we have what's called a cluster here. So it's us, Big 94.5, and Live 101.5. And we work for Odyssey. So you have a lot of major radio stations. So obviously you have like your iHearts, you have Odyssey, you have Beasley, you have Hubbard, all of these. So we all kind of play into that. But it's a great company. And they've kept me around this long, so I'm very blessed.
How's the world of radio nowadays? There's a lot of competition.
There's a ton of competition. I think that's the hardest part in radio is that it doesn't matter where you go. There is always somebody ready to take your spot. It's like being a fish in water full of alligators. Like they're all, like actually a better analogy would be walking a tightrope over a water full of alligators, and the alligators are people waiting to take your spot, especially being in such a huge market. Like this is where people want to be. And if it wasn't for like the rating system, putting Phoenix in such a small area based off of whatever ridiculous system they have, we would be a top 5 market. So, and Camel itself in the country world is a career-changing station. It's one of those stations where I could go to Nashville and meet any artist and say, oh, I do mornings on Camel Country. I don't even have to tell you that it's Phoenix. They know exactly who you are. They know when you started to play their song. They know the backing that you've had for them. It's just one of those stations where we will change your life if you're an artist because we have so much power behind it.
It's not like the Ryan McMillan Show.
It's true. It's
you
true.
know, it really is. I'm
Probably.
saying the same thing.
I just,
I mean,
there's not a lot of similarities here. Like, game
We're living in the same world right now.
game changer.
So yeah, it's crazy to be in it. There's so much pressure all of the time. You have to be really careful with what you say because if you misspeak, people will hear what they want to hear. I have said some things a couple of times where I walked the line of like, Cheyenne's going to get canceled today.
Wow.
Because I said a full statement and people took 3 words and put them together, which was not what I said. a couple of times. So you really have to be careful because you also don't want to offend people out of unnecessary.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the world has changed so much, and it's changing constantly. What you can say, what you can't say, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Over the last, 10 years or so, it's been a roller coaster of what can get you canceled and what can't.
Exactly. And it changes every day.
Yeah.
And a certain people will be offended by one word the next day, and then they won't be offended by it the next day. And it's a constant roller coaster of what do we get to say today that's not going to piss everybody off.
Yeah.
So it gets a little challenging, but I'm here for it.
If you could roll this all the way back to 1862 when we were making game-changing steak sauces and people could say whatever they wanted to say. That was America.
Dude, we should see if A1 wants to sponsor the show.
We should.
You should absolutely do that. They'd be like, you can't talk badly about us if we do that. You know that, right?
You're a patriot. You have any connections over there?
I unfortunately don't.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
They're probably listening.
We could do a whole show where we just cook some really well done steaks and put some A1 sauce on there and just, about 15 minutes to chew one bite.
One bite.
This is
We'd be like,
great.
my jaw really hurts right now.
Yeah. You know what I need?
I'm
Some more
full.
A1.
You burn off more calories chewing one steak than you did walking to get it.
Yeah.
Sorry, A1.
Yeah.
But people love it. Some people
People
love
do
it.
love it.
You walk into like, the I don't know, like the cheap the buffets, and it's right there on your table.
You were
Oh,
about
any
to-
diner
you were
has
about to-
it on the
You
You were
table.
about to say Chili's. I know it.
Well, I bet Chili's does have it.
They probably have it in the back if you ask.
Right next
Yeah.
to
Oh,
the
they have it. They
Worcestershire
have it.
sauce.
They have it. Yeah. Nobody even knows what that is.
Well, have you ever had chili steak? You need it. I made the mistake of having chili steak once. I'll never. It's $17, right? When you get a $17 steak, you know it's going to need some A1.
It's going to need something.
Yeah.
So, along with someone that would order a very nice steak and ask a server for A1, I told you this story. My wife and I, we had these a couple that we would go out to. We kind of did this thing. They like Arrowhead Grill, and they're like, "You guys should come with us." We'd never been. We tried it, and then they're like, "Oh, this place is good. We've heard this place is good." So we went around like every 6 weeks. We'd go try a different steakhouse.
I love that.
And so my wife's friend, God bless her, everybody would order. Right, we're at a steakhouse. I'm not getting salmon. I'm not getting seafood. Like I'm getting a steak.
Yeah.
So everybody would pretty much order a fillet, and it was kind of like order similar dishes so that we can kind of rate and see who we like the best. Every time it's like, yeah, I'll take a filet medium rare, filet medium rare, filet medium, and they would get to this lady and she would just go, "Can I get a filet, but can you butterfly it and cook it well done?"
Oh.
And the servers would just go, "I mean, you're paying for it. We'll do
Yeah.
whatever you want to.
whatever
I'll
you
throw it.
That's a choice.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the trash can.
Oh, what a
pick it
sweet
back up if
lady.
you want, but
Yeah.
I
She's so sweet.
Yeah, but she had that look like, "I'm sorry, I'm going
At
to be
that point, don't you just order like some chicken or maybe a
That's
salad?
what
Right?
I said. That's what I,
Yeah.
Hey, man, I know this is Arrowhead Grill. You guys got A1 back there, right? We're going to need a boatload of that.
That's such an ick for me. Like being in the dating world, if I go to a steakhouse with a dude and he orders anything past medium rare, I'm like, oh God, that's a choice. I mean, love what you love. That's fine. But for me, if I'm eating medium rare and you order yours well done,
yeah. Love what you love, but just know you're going
I'll
to need
open my
A1.
own doors. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll
no
open yours too.
I'll open yours
If you order your steak well done, I'll open your door as well. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. That's wild.
They, I mean, I'll go rare, but most people, I feel like medium rare is a good,
I like the ribeyes, man. I like the fat. A lot of people don't like the fat, but I love the taste
as a
of fat.
flavor. Yeah.
The fat has a lot of flavor.
Has
I'm
a
not
flavor,
I'm not
yeah.
too keen on having the fat, and I will only go rare if I'm like in a super weird mood. Medium rare is where I sit.
Yeah, me too.
But so where is the best steakhouse that you found on your extravaganza?
So, I don't know if there's one that we haven't been to. I'm going to say this right now. This is going to be totally unpopular, but I like Durant's.
Chili's. Oh wait,
No,
Chili's
downtown.
as long as there's
And
A1.
I'll tell you why. Like, it's weird because they bring everything on the same plate. They've got, like, it's the 50s in there. Like, it's got, like, old wood paneling
Yeah.
that has, like, crushed velour on it or something. I don't know. Their bar is killer. But I just like the fact that you walk in through the kitchen, I felt like Robert De Niro, like in Goodfellas.
I love that.
You walk in, you're walking in the kitchen. It's got like the maroon awning, the glass door. You walk in, and I'm like, we're in the kitchen. They're like, yeah, right this way.
Yeah, keep walking.
Yeah,
Keep going.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I like that. So I like that. But I would say food-wise, overall total experience, probably Dominic's.
I've heard great things about
Just
there.
like
Yeah.
size-wise, like Arrowhead Grill makes artisan mac, they call it, and it's got 6 different cheese. I'm a cheese guy.
I love cheese.
6 different
I
cheeses.
love
cheese
cheese.
guy?
Yeah,
vegans.
if you're not a cheese guy,
Yeah.
she'll open your door for you on the way out. Okay.
Just call me. I'll be there. It's fine.
Yeah, the guy's telling me, I'm like, what's this artisan mac? He goes, oh, it's got goat cheese from Spain and this from England and Wales. And I'm like, 6 cheeses? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sold when
Could
you
have been
said
mozzarella.
goat cheese.
And
Yeah.
Mozzarella,
It was amazing.
American.
So size, they're probably, I think the steak is probably better at Dominic's. Size are good at Arrowhead Grill. And Arrowhead Grill, like there's a lot of older guys from Sun City, just got done golfing.
Love those
So
guys.
like the ambiance there is like,
Yeah.
it's classy but laid back.
Right. I don't
But-
think your opinion on Durant's is as off as you think it is, because I know a ton of people who love it there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I think it's far more popular than you think it is.
Yeah, I just, I'm like, people are knocking like, it's old. And I'm like, I know, dude, but Goodfellas, come on, classic
I think
movie.
it's getting remodeled soon, though. I think it just came under new ownership. If I remember correctly. So you might be seeing a facelift.
The real question is, how was their A1?
Top
Was
notch.
it top notch?
Top
Was it
notch.
15 year?
It had that crust around the cap. I feel so definitely
You open
15
it, kind of
years,
flakes
definitely
off a little
15
bit.
years.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but Arrowhead Grill, highly recommend.
I've never been there.
Artisan
I need
mac,
to go
my
there.
goodness. It's got,
It's this side of town.
so I didn't know this. Guy told me this, but he's like, oh, it's got truffle oil. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just bring it out.
Yeah. I will still eat it
Yeah.
if it has
So-
regular
yeah.
oil.
So I'm eating it. It's amazing. My best friend, he's my old rescue partner on the fire department, also a cheese guy. It was so good. And they used to live like 3 blocks from us. So I'm like, I need a side of that to go. So I called, it's like 9 o'clock. I called him like, hey, what are you doing right now? He's like, oh, we're just getting ready to watch a movie. I'm like, we're coming by. And he's like, well, we're not really ready for coming. I'm like, we're coming by.
Just
So
show
we
your
come by,
mouth.
and I just go, dude, taste this. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, shut your mouth and taste it. He takes one bite. He's like, oh my God, is there truffle oil in that? And I'm like,
I will also open his door.
Yes,
that's adorable.
how did I not know? I had to be told, but like, he's got a very refined palate.
Yeah. Truffle oil, when you know what it tastes like, you taste it in everything.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm a big maple and ash girl. I
been there,
love
and yeah.
maple and ash.
What is it? The coconut pie or something? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. I liked it. It had a nice atmosphere. It was good. The service was awesome. The food
The
was
service
really
is
good.
fantastic. The
Yeah.
food is always, I like it because it's so consistent. It's so consistently bougie.
Yeah.
And I love that because I'm a low key bougie gal.
Yeah.
Like I might be from the sticks, but you tell me you're taking me to Maple and Ash, I'll go buy a new outfit today. Like-
if you tell me you're taking me to Maple and Ash and you're going to get A1, I'll go ahead and get a pantsuit because I'm going to have to be the man in the relationship.
I'm not
here.
only driving, I'm also opening your
We're
door.
taking my car. I'm opening the door. I got a corsage for you here.
You can hold my hand.
Yeah. I'll hold your purse when you go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's solid,
No, yeah.
though.
Dominic's was like service wise, because they got an upstairs. There's like a little pool in there.
That's interesting.
It's like 2 feet deep. I wanted to do some laps in it, but it's apparently frowned upon.
Oh, that's
But
unfortunate.
yeah, we had. So my wife likes. I love her to death, but she likes vegetables.
I like vegetables.
So they have this. They have
Your
this,
digestive system would probably really love vegetables.
Yeah, my digestive system runs on red meat and Copenhagen. That's what it's and monsters. Yeah.
And monsters.
Yeah, but so she gets. They have this spinach with like garlic in it, and then she got something else. And the waiter comes by. Oh, how was it? She's like, it was good. He's like, you don't sound convinced. She goes, honestly, from here, she goes, I've had better. The sides weren't amazing. Steak was awesome. The sides just weren't what I'm used to. So, but no, good. Manager comes over. Oh my God, let me take care of this for you. And she's like, no, like I'm not looking for anything for it. It was. I mean, it was good if you're at Chili's, but for here. And he goes, here's my card. Give me a call. I want to make this up to you. So it's my birthday. She happens to call and go, hey, can we get in tonight? He goes, come on down. I'll be waiting for you. We paid for nothing except drinks.
Wow.
They gave us all the sides that we had that night to make sure that they were good.
Mm-hmm.
Steaks, like they brought out 3 appetizers. We had like 4 desserts. So like Dominic's like really knows how to do it.
I love that. I'm so big on service. You could have the best restaurant in the world, and if I get bad service, I will never be back again.
I think that's where Arrowhead Grill doesn't make the top. Is their service is just average.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And
that's rough.
Yeah.
And it is, like I said, you'll see a bunch of guys and they're just got done playing golf. So they're in like golf shorts. And so it kind of has that vibe of like, you're getting a nice meal, very good steak, good sides, but you can also kind of be laid back.
Yeah.
When you go in there, where Dominic's is very like,
they try to like
intentional.
spoof it up by like bringing you a special knife. You're like, that's all. Basically, I feel like I'm at Chili's, a good steak and a special knife.
have you been to Bourbon and Bones up here?
Yeah.
Where you get to choose your weapon. They go,
yes.
which one do you
That's
want?
cool.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Bourbon and Bones is a great place.
Do you guys got a sword back there?
I'll take the biggest thing you
I'll
have.
take a
I don't even
katana
see
if
it.
you have one.
You just cut it from a mile
It's an
away.
axe. Stab it with the other end. Just gnaw on it.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're still cavemen.
I know.
Steak
Right?
is steak.
So
It's weird that it's back in style, for a long time. Don't eat fat, don't eat meat. Now it's like
We were lied
everybody's on
to.
the carnivore diet.
we were
Yeah.
lied to.
Yeah.
You're
1000%.
Yeah, you're nowhere near as old as us, obviously. But like you couldn't eat eggs. Eggs are bad for you. Red meat's bad for you. Bacon's bad for you. All the greatest foods ever.
Bacon's so good.
And now
Bacon's
they tell you,
delightful.
hey, dude, by the way, eggs are superfood. It's literally the best food that you can eat. It's got literally every nutrient that you need in it.
I
Go ahead and eat all of
live
those.
on eggs.
Yeah.
I live on them. Eggs and cottage cheese. Blend them together. Bake it. It's delightful.
I love cottage cheese. Yeah.
Same. Only if it's blended though. I cannot eat cottage cheese if it's in its
Straight out
actual.
of the-
No.
Blend it so it's like a milkshake.
Yeah, you blend it. Okay. I'm gonna put you onto something. You don't like vegetables. Do you like vegetables?
I do. Well,
Okay.
some.
So you take cottage cheese, you blend it up, you put some Frank's Red Hot in it, and then you put taco seasoning in it. Then you cut up some bell peppers. It is the best dip with some.
Oh, it's a dip?
Put some cheese on it.
Cheese.
Sprinkle some
the-
cheese.
That's going to get them.
The bell pepper
So good.
part kind of freaks me out a little bit, but
so
the rest
good.
of it, I'm on board. You said Frank's Red Hot, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right, I like
really good.
I like where this is going.
It is one of the best, like,
But you just blend it up, so it's like just a.
just using an immersion blender, stick it in there, blend it up. It's so good. Also, it's a great substitute for mac and cheese.
Is there such thing?
I swear, if
a
you're
substitute for mac and
dieting,
cheese.
if you're hard dieting, and you're really trying to stay away from like the heavy creams, cottage cheese.
I don't think I will ever be dieting hard enough to not eat mac.
I'm
and
gonna
cheese.
bring you some mac and cheese.
Yeah.
That is, I'm gonna tell you one has one and one has the other. I'm not gonna tell you
Okay.
which one it is.
Okay.
I promise you, it's.
My
it's
mother-in-law
pretty
makes
fantastic.
pretty mean mac and cheese, and it's super like the cheese, like you get like the grease like boils.
Oh,
out
that's
at
the
top.
best.
Oh man, so good.
It will never replace a full, well done homemade mac and cheese.
Yeah.
But if you're dieting, it's a solid alternative.
So you have kids.
I do.
So you're familiar with, Kraft mac and cheese, obviously, a little SpongeBob mac
Yeah.
and cheese, right? Who isn't? Easy to like, especially when you're poor or you're like easy to make. Directions are right on the box. Super simple.
Yeah.
So at the station, this is about 2 months ago, we decided we're going to go old school, dude. We're going to get SpongeBob mac and cheese. Grabbed a couple boxes. We had, I don't remember what we had with it. But so at the time, my backseat partner, she's got 3 kids. So I'm like, she knows how to make mac and cheese. Good. We get a call. The noodles are boiling. I'm like, okay, everything's ready. You just got to finish the mac and cheese. She's like, got it. We come back.
Oh, no.
The noodles are in the pot. And I actually said this. I go, if you get confused, directions are on the box. You got kids, you should be good. But I'm very picky about this. You got to put the butter in first.
Yes.
Then,
Yes.
then you put the cheese powder in there, and then the milk
As
to
needed.
make exactly.
Yes.
Right. It's got to be creamy, not watery.
Yes.
So I explained butter, cheese, milk to kind of. She's like, got it. Yeah, go. Got
no.
it. Okay. And we get canceled, so we're back like 7 minutes later. I walk in, noodles are sitting here, and she's gonna hate me for telling the story, but she's like mixing this. I'm like,
Like making a roux.
that's what I said. I go, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm just mixing up the cheese sauce. I go, we're not making a roux. It's supposed to go in with the. And it was like, and it wasn't. She's just mixing around. It's like on heat, and I'm like,
She's thinking she's killing it right now.
I'm like,
oh no.
First of all, I told you, butter in the directions are on the box. Where's the box? Oh, it's in the trash can. Like, and it was dry.
Oh
and
no.
And to this day, we still love to give her. shit
That's
about it.
awful. That was just that's a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
For sure.
So now it's like, so then she redeems herself though. She made a bechamel.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, it's one of the 5 mother sauces of Italy.
I don't know how to make it.
I don't even know. I think Alfredo, marinara, bechamel. Apparently, I thought that was French, but whatever. It's pretty good.
I can make a homemade vodka sauce, a homemade
Anything with
Alfredo.
liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, vodka pasta is good.
I can whip up some sauce, but I don't know what that is. So good for her. But also, why did you get SpongeBob mac and cheese? Because that's
Are you gonna not get SpongeBob mac and cheese?
I'll get-
like if you're there and you've got like elbow macaroni and you've got. I mean,
I'm getting elbow for
not get
sure.
SpongeBob mac and cheese.
I'm getting elbow for sure. I don't feel like the character mac and cheese noodles have that same like bite to it.
That's true.
It doesn't feel as like
they're not
hearty.
as al dente. If
Yeah,
you will.
I need them more al dente.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. At a certain point, you can't tell which one's Squidward and which one's Patrick.
That's true. They just look
But,
mushy.
I mean, it's.
Do you add shredded cheese to your Kraft mac and cheese?
Oh, I add shredded cheese to everything.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. I also do. I love shredded cheese. It's great.
It's literally.
Also, we've been made to believe that it's absolutely terrible for us. And it's really not that
It's
bad.
dairy. It's got protein.
Unless you're eating those Kraft ones with the slice.
Yeah.
It's a little, those are not even real.
That's like government
No.
cheese. Yeah,
that's
like
like
Velveeta.
made from a lab.
yeah. Well, it's like if you get, like when we cook at the station, we get cheese. Like somebody will, hey, get cheese for like we'll make taco salad or something, and somebody will throw shredded cheese in the cart, and I'll just look at them and I'm like, I said, get cheese. I don't know what this is, but this isn't cheese. It doesn't melt. It's got some sort of like sawdust on it or something that keeps it from melting. Get cheese. And when you actually shred a block of cheese,
Oh, it's the best.
it tastes way better. I
It's
don't know
the
what it
best.
is.
I love fresh shredded cheese. I even have a hand crank
Yeah.
shredder. It's top tier.
Yeah.
You got to have it.
Yeah, I'm definitely that guy at Olive Garden when they're like, tell me when to stop. I just go, how much time you got?
How much is left in the block? Because that's me.
Yeah, get another block.
He's going to need another block over here. So, yeah.
That makes sense. I get that.
I say we do it.
Oh,
I say we do it.
I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, the
Oh, I'm going to read it?
random, at random, just whatever you come up
Okay.
with.
All right. Oh, this is terrifying. Okay. Ready? This is so perfect. I don't think I could have landed on a better one.
Okay.
Mexico will pay for the wall. The real Donald Trump, September 1st, 2016.
I like that you read the date. We always like to read the date too.
I'm here for it. It was at 3:31 a.m.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker.
He's always up. He's always
That's
going.
He's
Okay.
always up.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Okay. I feel like a kindergarten teacher. You want me to? Okay. At Sharks are last on my list. Oh, wait, I didn't think I need to read
Did
the
he
first one
actually
first.
at Sharks?
Yeah. Well, it's bold.
Okay.
I took that as an at. Okay, here we go. Sorry, folks. I'm just not a fan of sharks. And don't worry, they will be around long after we're gone. Sharks are last on my list, other than perhaps the losers and haters of the world.
Yeah. We're going to protect the Sharks. I've got very good people, probably the best people. I don't say it. Everybody's saying it, though. It's not me. They're telling me that they're the best shark people.
He told us that on 7/14/13.
What was that all about? He just doesn't like sharks. He
I
wanted to
don't
tweet
know.
about the fact he didn't like sharks, or what?
I feel like this was maybe in Shark Week or something.
Yeah, what was
Maybe,
the time on that?
There's no time on this
time?
one. But it was retweeted 4,104 times.
Is it all caps or no?
No.
Oh, he wasn't that serious about it.
He wasn't that serious about it. There was one exclamation point though.
Yeah.
So he was sort of serious.
You know, hey, and that's a campaign promise I'd like to see if you followed up on.
Yeah.
What's the shark population doing?
What is
right
the
now?
shark population? My kid could tell you. He's obsessed with sharks.
We talked about this on one of the. So Nate Bergassi,
Mm-hmm.
he has a little bit on that, and he's like, "Oh yeah." So Leonardo DiCaprio on Twitter, he's like, "Oh, 100 million sharks are killed every year by people," and he's like, "I didn't even know that there was 100 million sharks." Like, okay, fine. He's like, I'll stop messing with sharks then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
100
say
million
less.
sharks are killed by people
That's a lot
every
of
year?
sharks.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 100,000?
There's no way that's a true fact.
100,000, right? Or is it 100?
I
100
almost-
million?
100
That's like-
million?
That's what the Leo tweet said. Well, and it's his comedy bit. Maybe he made that part up. But I feel like 100,000 is still a lot.
Yeah. Didn't he say something about like I don't even know who touches that many?
Yeah.
I don't even,
He's like, I don't even know anybody that's touched a
anybody
shark.
that touched a shark.
I've never even seen a shark in real life outside of an aquarium.
I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like we need a fact check.
Bad.
Speaking of sharks, I saw this thing come across my feed the other day where it's like it tracked all the shark attacks. There's just like a little red dot of all the shark attacks, and there happened to be a shark attack like in Nebraska. There was one red dot in the middle.
You got
How
to be
does that
careful with those
happen?
corn-fed sharks, man. You know what I mean? They don't mess around, dude.
Those ones are frisky. Those ones are frisky. I wonder if it was like an aquarium. Like
don't
a
know.
shark
You-
accidentally bit a
Did
trainer.
somebody,
Yeah.
They count that, I guess. Not wild sharks. Just
That's crazy.
I mean, it's kind of. My wife and I had this conversation. We saw a coyote at Desert Ridge. She goes, "Oh, we should get it. It looks scared." I'm like, "It's got family. It's
yeah.
It's
probably
fine.
fine.
It's
She's
fine.
an extreme animal lover. I'm like, it's probably fine."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, who determines that coyotes have to be wild dogs? Like, why can't we just domesticate them?" Like, and I'm like, "Well,
I think
like,
the other way.
yeah, I go, who determines that a lion just does lion stuff? They sleep for like 22 hours a day and then they go kill. That's just what they do."
It's cool
She's
life.
like, "Yeah, but if you bring a lion and you could domesticate it," I'm like, "Seaford and Roy tried that and it didn't work out that well."
I don't know. I
So,
think about like if you were a lion, would you want to be trapped in some cage, or do you want to be out there just doing manly shit?
just doing lion stuff.
Doing lion stuff.
I mean, I want to be
know?
doing lion stuff.
Yeah.
Even if I was just a little house cat, I'd want to be doing lion stuff.
Well, that's because cats think they are lions. Cats have the weirdest, like, they think they are things that they are not. Like, you are as big as my forearm, okay? Calm down.
But they do have some nasty claws. If you don't get them, they can.
Oh,
rip
they'll
you
mess you
apart.
up.
I just read something. I don't know if it was like on Facebook, but they say evolutionary, like cats are literally that they're perfect. Like their spines are flexible, so when they jump and they hunt, they're retractable claws, like their killer instinct, like like a cat could not evolve anymore if you believe in evolution, but it could, because it's already like the perfect animal for what it does.
So I was nervous because we have snakes on the property. We've had a number of rattlesnakes, and most of the time when I hear them, it's my cat face to face with a rattlesnake, and I'm like just kind of freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, this cat's gonna get bit. And then I go online later and I search, and I'm like, cats are like 40 times faster than snakes. Like there's no way, there's not a chance that a snake could bite a cat. Cats are way too fast. I'm like, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy to
That's
me.
insane, actually.
Yeah, because you think snakes are just like super fast, but they're
I mean,
sloths compared
they're
to
faster
cats.
than I am. I know that, so I don't mess around.
Wow, I mean, don't sell yourself short.
I'll run a 4.2 right now out back.
4.210.
4.240 right now as is. I will go run a 4.2.
4.215.
But I think a
15.
rattlesnake's still a little bit faster. Yeah,
And you might be able to outrun
In
a
their
lot.
in their strike.
and their strike.
In their strike, yes.
Yeah, foot race, I got it. all
No,
day.
you could walk and you would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen those guys on the gram that do those like super fast little, like they like, I don't know how to explain it, but they have like pencils and lighters, and they'll like time themselves, and they'll like do these like speed drills.
grabbing everything.
They're grabbing everything, and they're like think they're super fast. I don't know. It's fascinating to watch actually because they are, but that's
like-
a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the person that enters a Rubik's Cube competition.
Those are wild. Have you watched the blind ones?
How is it even possible?
How do you do that?
Some people's brains are just better than others.
The photogenic, that means you're pretty. But
But we get
yeah,
it. Yeah.
the people who can look at it and remember it.
Photographic.
that,
Photographic.
photographic. I was like,
Words.
being pretty has nothing to do with it, but
If you're pretty, you're good at Rubik's Cube.
yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. I could literally tell you right now, I need to go next door and grab a cake, and I will walk into the next room and forget that I need a cake. So
I'm the same way.
it's terrible. It's really bad.
So tell us about this nonprofit.
Oh, the
Can you?
Axel? Yeah, I absolutely
yeah.
can. Axel Crew Foundation. So Axel Crew Foundation, it was founded a couple of years ago when our founders, Josh and Alicia's son, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Or he had tumors all over by the time that he got to the hospital and was diagnosed. And his name was Axel Crew, and he's a twin. His name is Hayden, and Hayden is the spryest little kid in the whole wide world. He is, I feel like when Axel passed away, he left so much of his energy with Hayden because this kid goes nonstop, but he's just such a delight. But while they were going through treatment with Axel, Felicia and Josh realized that there is so much support for the kids, as there should be, right? Pediatric cancer is no joke. But unfortunately, the parents had no support. There was no groups. There was no like hotline that you could call to just maybe vent. There was nobody to go to be like, hey, my marriage is suffering, because all of your focus goes on your kids. So Josh and Felicia created Axel Crew Foundation with the sole purpose of keeping marriages alive while you're fighting childhood cancer. So we send parents and families on staycations, vacations if we can, because obviously a lot of our foundation members are autoimmune suppressed, so we can't send them to big things in big groups. But we pay for therapy. We have partners all over Arizona for cabins, and Bourbon and Bones is actually one of our date night sponsors. So is Dobson Ranch. So if like dad's an avid golfer, we'll send dad and whoever out to go golfing. And honestly, our biggest mission is just making sure that the divorce rate at PCH right now lowers while your kids are going through pediatric cancer care. So it's a beautiful foundation, and I'm so blessed to be a part of it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Axel. I met his dad about 2 months after his passing. And it was a super organic meeting. He listened to my show, and we just kind of became Instagram friends. And then we do a golf tournament every year in January. And his first golf tournament was right after Axel had passed away. So I went to his golf tournament. The whole station was there. Like, we had an entire camel team. It was really cool. We went and supported. And I left that, and I sent Josh a text, and I was like, hey, whenever you get a board going, I want to be a part of it. I love what you're doing. I love the like relationships that you have made and all of these people who are supporting you, and you're just getting started. And he was like, oh, weird. I have a board and you're on it. And I went, oh, okay.
Yeah. You haven't been getting the checks?
Yeah. So my pay, no, just kidding. It's fully volunteer. And so it's been really great. We just had our second annual golf tournament back in January, and it did so well. We got a lot of really cool things coming up this summer. We've got a shooting range foundation that's going to be coming up, and that's going to be really cool. And we also, actually, this is really cool. This is super cool because it's new for 2025. We've been working on an Axel Crew room on the oncology floor at PCH. So the oncology floor is floor 7, and there is really no place there for parents to step away. If you know anything about other like major, I'm talking like St. Jude major hospitals, there's always a place for parents to go, and PCH just doesn't have that. And we're changing that. We just got approved for an Axel Crew room, which will be solely for parents to step away from the smells of treatment, the sounds of any of the machines going on, and it will be very zen and very quiet. And PCH is so much behind. It was only supposed to be a room. This thing is turning into basically a house. It's like 2,000 square feet. It's nice. Gigantic. They're moving cubicles to make room for what we have planned. So it's really cool. It's really big. We're trying to get into all major pediatric hospitals around the country. We're already working on our partnership in Oregon. Next will be Boston. It's a really cool foundation that has a mission that no other childhood cancer foundation has, because their focus is the kids, which is great. But the parents deserve to have a fighting chance too, because they're not the only ones fighting for their lives. They have to fight for their marriage at the same time. So
yeah,
it's really cool. I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I can't imagine just having your kids going through something like that, and there's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. And then it's obviously like you said, your entire focus is the kids,
saving your child.
And again, that's not wrong.
No.
But you still You still have to. It's like anything else, right? People always say, well, if your sole focus is always the kids, when the kids leave the house, you're going to be complete strangers.
Exactly.
Well, in this case, the focus should be the kids, but you still have to make that time. You still have to it's stressful, and I'm sure there's sometimes you just don't want to do that because you're like, look, today was a day, and I don't want to do anything, but that's cool. There's, because you don't even really think about that. That's not talked about.
It's not. So we're trying to change that a little bit because the parents deserve to. And also, if the parents are staying together and the marriage is good and it's in a good place, the more you're going to be able to dedicate to their kids, which I think is something that a lot of parents in general, your kids going through pediatric cancer or not, forget. If you're not in a good spot, you can't show up for your kids 110%. That's why I think mental health is so important also in the parenting world. If I'm having a bad day, I will not show up for my kids the same way. Even if I'm pushing through, I am trying to push through. I still am not 100%. And I know that. So how is it that a parent who is in doctor's appointments and hospital rooms and watching your kid go through treatment after treatment after treatment and scans and being poked and all these things, and you think you're going to be able to show up for your husband at the end of the day or your wife? There's no way.
Yeah.
Every little thing ends up being a fight. Because why? Because you're focused so much on your kid that you forget about the person you had before you had kids. You got to keep that strong till the end because your kids need you.
Yeah.
So I'm like I said, I'm blessed to be a part of it. I'm blessed. Guys, I don't know why anybody has me a part of anything. Like the imposter syndrome over here is real. I'm just a little girl from Podunk, Moxie, Washington.
Well, I think it's when you think about you like your steaks medium rare and you love mac and cheese, it's pretty easy to.
I mean, you're right. When you put it that way, I'm a pretty good catch.
We put two and two together. And this, Hey, look, 2 and 2 is still 3 at the end of the day. Okay,
So
awesome.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
It's a nutshell for the most part.
Yeah.
So I've been through a lot, been through the gamut, and I'm involved in a lot of things because I like to be. So
Nice.
I have a bigger purpose than just talking on the radio. So.
You love your job, like super fun.
Yeah, I love my job. My job is, I get to hang out with the coolest people in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
I get to meet artists all the time. I literally shared a drink with Riley Green in April.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Is that on your
It's on my Instagram. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go check it out.
cool. Yeah.
He quite literally took a drink from his cup, took the second cup, and then poured his drink from his cup into my cup. We're basically married now.
That's the way I understand it.
That's what I
That's the way
heard.
I understand it.
So he's got so much drama surrounding him and ladies right now. I don't want to be married to him, so he can have that. But
Yeah, I think.
I kind of know what that's about too.
Yeah,
we've had, it's hard to keep the ladies off us.
Yeah. Well, with a super popular syndicated podcast like this.
Yeah.
and you like
It's gonna
A1
happen.
sauce. The ladies come flocking.
We're A1's soon to come on board as a sponsor. There's big things happening.
It's moving. You guys are moving the world for sure.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, it's cool. I've got some things in the work. I actually just finished my first keynote speech. So this is actually, I love radio. If my boss is listening, I love my job. I'm not planning on leaving. But motivational speaking is something I wanted to do since I was a freshman in high school. I remember the first speech that I saw in my high school gymnasium. It was a guy who had no legs. He was a drug addict. He ended up falling on a down power line, and this whole thing, I won't get into it because it's really long. But his story was it wasn't that his story hit me. It was that I was like, I want to change people's lives like that. Like, that's so cool. And then you go through life, right? And you get pulled in a gajillion different directions. And for a long time, when you go through things like abuse, which for me, my abuse was heavy mental, heavy emotional, breaking you down to your worth was below the ground type of situation. You're like, there's no way. My story's not big enough. I don't have enough to say. My story's not right. I'm not going to be able to connect with the right people. And then you have this moment where you go, actually, you know what? My story's pretty badass. The amount of things that I have survived through and lived through and the story that I have to tell is actually really great. So a couple of months ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this leap. I'm going to take this leap that I feel like God is putting in my heart truly to step out of my comfort zone, to speak to the masses. So I finished a keynote speech. I took a class. I didn't even know you could take a class, but I took one. They helped develop my speech for what it is, taught me how to advertise myself, how to do it the right way, how to give a speech, because there's an art to it.
Sure, yeah.
And now I'm officially finished. I'm in the process of buying my LLC, starting my website, and getting cooking. But it's been a huge dream of mine to be a motivational speaker. And so to be able to share my story in a different way that's not on the radio, because you only get 3 minutes on the radio. You have to figure out how to tell your story in 3 minutes and lock the audience in and hope that maybe they stick around for the next, 5 more minutes to hear 2 more minutes of your story. A keynote gave me 45 minutes to an hour to help people be who they really are. And I think that I'm so stoked, you guys. I'm jazzed. Like, radio's great. I love radio. Love my job.
Yeah.
But I think because of radio, I have found the confidence in myself to step into a place to be able to do something that I have dreamt my entire life about. And that's keynote speeches. And I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm jazzed.
So you're one of the rare people who has no problem public speaking?
I have zero issue public speaking. But what's crazy about that, I did have you guys done 23andMe?
No.
So I did a 23andMe a long time ago, and I got a wild hair a couple weeks ago to pull it back up just to peruse it. And they had done some updating on it because, as research evolves and all the things. So they have this portion on 23andMe where they break down like how related you are to like Neanderthals. And because those are like, the beginning of life, essentially.
I don't need 23andMe to tell me how. I'm like 98%.
So Neanderthal.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
just love
like
these
Neanderthal.
See the scabs on my knuckles?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, but it breaks down a certain amount of certain traits that you have genetically that they did. And one of my traits should have led me to fear public speaking. And it is literally the opposite. You give me a microphone in front of people and I'll be gone. Like, bye. I own this mic now. This floor is mine. I won't share it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Being in front of people is my jam. So
Well, that's rare.
I'm very
That's
blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one fear in people, is public speaking. Beyond I don't know, being in a cage with lions, I even think.
Beyond a shark attack.
Beyond a shark attack.
Even.
I'm not even scared of a shark. I'm just scared of getting up in front of people and telling people what I know.
It's not easy, even as we announce at Country Thunder. So, so my biggest crowd ever. The biggest crowd was Country Thunder 2 years ago. It was Morgan Wallen.
Who's
Place, Morgan Wallen. He's this guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. He likes to throw chairs. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
He's who started country music.
Oh, I thought I can't say that.
No, it wasn't Luke Bryan. It was Morgan Wallen. He started it.
Morgan Wallen is the reason I have a job. But so it was Morgan Wallen's year at Country Thunder, and we were standing side stage, and we look out, and it's just faces. Because have you guys been to Country Thunder? So from the front to the back, I mean, there was not space for another person. And we were standing side stage, and I went, check my teeth, because I always have my guys check my teeth, check my hair. Do I look okay? Because we end up on the screens. It's a whole thing. You don't want to look bad. Like, how terrible would it be if I had broccoli or lipstick on my teeth? I would never live that down. And I just took a big breath, and I went, okay. And as soon as you hit those lights, you don't see nothing, which makes really big crowds easy. That's what people don't understand is once those lights hit you, you see 7 rows deep, and that's pretty much it. Unless your eyes quickly adjust, you don't see anything past 7 rows. It's just really bright lights. And then everybody else just fades away. But you pick a couple people, and you just look them in the eye, because now that person feels like you see them.
To them, yeah.
You're talking to them, and then you pick another one, and then a couple on this side, and then they're like, oh my God, they looked at me. And then they feel connected. And now they're telling people. And now everybody else feels like you've looked at them. It's the craziest thing in the world. But it's one of the most fulfilling things to be able to command a room of a lot of people. Because not everybody can do that. Like, think of the last time you were in a meeting with somebody who you just didn't care to listen to. It's so easy to just be like, and just drift off. and not hear a single word that you say. But when you can capture the attention of every person in that room or every person in that audience or every person in the car, it just does something different to you that unlocks this superpower to just keep going and to keep talking. It's wild.
Nice.
My mom calls it my ego. I don't know. It might be that.
Yeah. I think my first time at Country Thunder was actually Carrie Underwood's first time.
I wasn't there for that.
She sang some Guns N' Roses songs. She was fresh off American.
Rocks country.
Yeah,
She
fresh
rocks
off
rock
American
music.
Idol, like-
yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. And then we went again. My buddy, after they got married, we went. It's so hard to get a camp spot, and it's so far. So it's like you don't have to camp, but it just makes it so much easier.
I drove back. So I live in Laveen. So I bought a house in Laveen.
Okay.
And I am no traffic. I'm an hour to Florence.
Oh, yeah.
Either way I go. I could go the 60 all the way, or I can go the backside of the mountain. It's still an hour. It's really not that bad. It could be worse. But 2 years ago, it might have been Morgan's year. 2-3 years ago, I decided I was going to drive home every night. I was really pissy. And I was like, I just want to go see my kids. I'm so sick of being out here. I was just crabby. I will never drive back and forth again. And it wasn't that it was a lot or exhausting. It's just 2 hours round trip
Yeah.
at 1 hour at 11 o'clock at night. No, thank you. Absolutely no. So if you're driving back and forth, Godspeed.
Agreed.
I will fight for a camping site if that's the case. I'll find you one. You just call me, be like, I need a campsite.
I will.
I'll be like, I'll find you one.
And if you can't find one, I'm sure Morgan's got one.
Morgan's probably got a lot.
Just text him.
He owns it. He
Yeah.
pretty much owns it at this
I
point.
mean, when you have, 8 of the top 10 songs on one album that are top 10 right now, it's like,
the album is so bad.
okay.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I am the outlier on that one. I think his current album wasn't good. Let's break this down. I'll break it down for you. When you compare his current 35 track current album to Dangerous, they're not even in the same ballpark. Dangerous was hit after hit after hit. Every song on the Dangerous album is an earworm. Every single one of them. That's why we play the heck out of them. His new album from I'm the Problem is there's 5 earworm songs. Everything else is I wish you would have put a little bit more time into it. I wish musically, the lyrics, solid. Nobody will argue that Morgan Wallen isn't one of the best storytellers in Nashville. Between him and Hardy, and then you have the Tyler Hubbards and the Luke Bryans, they're all such good storytellers.
I think Luke Combs
is another great storyteller.
There's one song he sings. It's not even in one of his most popular, but seriously get teary-eyed every time I hear it. Every single time. It's the one about his brother dying on that motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even listen. I'm in the gym yesterday, and it comes on, and I'm like, okay, I better just go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, you're like, I just need to tear.
Yeah, it's so hot in here.
It's so sad.
Every time I listen to it, it's so sad.
Yeah, it's so sad.
And then the way he tells it, it's so clean and so. I don't even know. I'm not that. I don't know how to do that. But whatever he's doing, it's working.
Yeah.
He does it well, and I like that he puts his heart into 12 songs. And puts out a solid 12-song album. Guess what, Morgan? Nothing is wrong with doing a 12-song album. I would rather you do a 12-song album and it be just absolute perfection from front to back. Yeah. And I can go, every single song of that is good. At this point, I'm like, another 36-album song? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And they're not even all musically. They're like, meh.
Yeah.
Well, we know he's listening to this, so he better take some notes.
Yeah.
Well, I also did a TikTok about it, so he'll hear about it. It's fine.
Yeah, he's actually one of our first subscribers.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that. Yeah.
And matter of fact, he was bugging us about this time slot. We're like, no, we got Cheyenne coming.
Yeah.
In. So why
Who are you,
don't you just call back later?
You're kind of going on the downhill. So we only want people coming on the up and up.
Yeah. Speaking of up and up, and I don't know if I have a bone to pick with you guys.
Ooh.
But why are we not playing more? So obviously, Morgan Wallen, Luke Bryan, all those guys. But Jackson Dean, are we not going to get? Oh, come on!
Let me
I saw him in
tell
concert.
you.
We were in Vegas. It was for party. It's a party in Vegas, And Jackson Dean opened for him. The lights were off. You didn't even know he was on stage yet. And he just starts wailing on the guitar. And I'm like, I don't know who this is. Never heard of him, but I already like it. That dude is awesome. Let's get him on the radio.
He is one of the nicest humans you will ever meet, first of all. Second of all, I love Jackson Dean. It is not for loving him. Unfortunately, what we play is not dictated by what I like.
I know.
It's dictated by what my company likes.
Well, I hear.
But I love him.
Yeah, I hear, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like in country, especially. And I know that, a lot of them don't necessarily write their own stuff. Somebody's written it for them. So it's easy. I guess it's easier for a country music artist to have hits if you don't even have to write them.
Yeah.
Not that they're not talented. But I have heard that it's kind of more of a, he's good, it's just not his turn yet.
Yeah, it's just, that's kind of how radio, not radio itself, but that's how the industry works. Especially when you're on major labels. They have launch artists and everybody will have their year. So right now, there's an artist out, his name's Chase McDaniel. He's also a wonderful human. He's so nice. And he is a wonderful talent. And I've been watching him for years, and I've been pushing for him. They're like, it's not his year, it's not his year, it's not his year. Well, now he's in his push year. So if you follow him, you will notice now he's everywhere. You watch any of the country music video TV spots, CMT, you will see his music videos, which you wouldn't have seen last year. It's just this is his push year. Jackson Dean, I feel like he had a push year a couple of years ago. But he also has a sound that not everybody loves, unfortunately. He's a little rough around the edges. But I also feel like if people understood Jackson, it would be way different. Because he lived in a room that was half the size of this room, concrete floors, in the back of his grandma's house, no heating, no air conditioning, so that he could write music. This dude is one of a kind. And he's an artist. His guitars are all engraved by wood burns that he does. Those are all him. And let's be honest, you're not going to agree because you're a boy. He's hot. Jackson Dean is a good-looking dude.
I've been told that he looks a lot like
There's
me.
a resemblance.
So it's probably, you're right on the money there. But yeah.
He's a good-looking guy. There's no reason he shouldn't be doing well.
Yeah.
It just depends on what the label is pushing right now.
Yeah, that makes
and unfortunately, it's not him, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Because I am also a really big fan. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Chris Ledoux. I like the old country.
We will never play Chris Ledoux. I know. We'll never play it. Sorry.
What's the one band that my kids are into? Something Tree River Survival, or is there a band?
Treaty Oak Revival?
Treaty Oak Revival, yeah.
Treaty Oak Revival is
yes, that's them.
fantastic. They are coming to town,
they?
actually.
Is this country? Is it? I've never even heard of them. Country?
Well,
folk? What
yes.
is it?
It's folky country.
Yeah, it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys like this? Yeah, they love it.
They're actually opening for Nickelback at the Hondo Rodeo.
I just took a Nickelback's greatest hits earlier.
You stop. I will fight you. I love Nickelback so much.
Did you see her Instagram page?
Yes.
I think
love
that
Nickelback.
fighting words. I think.
I hear this. I will say this with my chest. If you don't like Nickelback, it's because somewhere someone told you they sucked, and you went, "Yeah, I can get behind that," and now you refuse to admit that they're amazing.
So what I'll say about Nickelback is they put out hits.
Yeah.
That's what they do, right? They sell out stadiums. They put out hits, but it's all the same. It's just all the same.
I hear what you're saying.
They're Canadian. We talked about this before you came in. What did I say? Now I forgot. It's a PTSD.
There's only
thing.
two good things that have ever come from Canada. Clearly Canadian, Crown Royal.
And
Nickelback.
the Salvation Army kicked Canada's ass.
And Nickelback.
So
I love Nickelback.
well,
And Crown Royal's iffy. It's kind of like, what did you say? It was like 12%, 12 proof?
it's 12 proof, I think.
It's one of those that you could put anything in it and taste good.
It's
Yeah.
like if I'm needing to hydrate a little bit more, I'm going for Crown Royal. If I feel like, man, I really tied one on last night. I need to hydrate up. I grab the Crown Royal. It's like just
It's like water.
So we're giving them some credit there.
Yeah.
Like, where it's probably not due.
Yeah.
You could just
Crown
replace them with Nickelback. Have you seen them live?
I have not.
See them live. It will change your perspective. I promise.
I'll age myself here. I was 17. Yeah, 17, 18 when Creed made their...
Ooh, also another one I love.
I love them too. But like I saw them live last year and I'm like, dude, these guys sound exactly like they did 30 years ago.
Isn't it amazing?
Like exactly. And it was just dirty and grungy. and it was like, but what I was surprised by is the amount of kids.
It's because their parents
When I
listen
say
to
kids,
it.
it's like 18. That's a kid to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, Motley Crue is one of my favorite bands of all time.
I love Motley
You
Crue.
go to a Motley Crue concert, ooh, you're seeing like 50, 60-year-olds,
Oh, yeah.
with
Yeah.
the denim jacket and and it's just like that's not something you do anymore.
Yeah.
That's just
Please.
not-
First of all, stop wearing denim
Yeah.
jackets if
Second,
you're over the
you're
age
gonna
of
break your
35. You're going to break a hip.
Creed was like, I feel like that's what my kids are saying about me now because it's a bunch of mid 40s and it was like they just sounded so good. And there was a lot of hate on them. And a lot of people were like, oh, Creed sucks. But so nobody told me that Nickelback's, hey, dude, they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh, 1,000%.
All the way.
When they're selling out Hundo in
Platinum
November,
like-
they're going to be like, yeah, we suck. Okay.
Yeah. And if I were him, I would laugh too.
Yeah, I would
just be
too.
like, hey, we're going to play another one of our shitty songs. And then,
And guess
know
what?
I mean?
Every one of you is going to sing
and
along.
you know all the words.
You know all the words.
All of them.
I love them. I love them. I love Creed. I'm a huge rocker. I love rock. I love heavy metal. I just was at a Screamo concert like a week ago.
Who'd you go see?
So it's an Australian band called Melrose Avenue. They're really small. Like they literally have like 6 songs on their track, but they're not even labeled. They're just touring on their own, but they're really great and I adore them. So
Nice.
I went to this little tiny room in Mesa called the Rosetta Room. It was their first ever show with full occupancy, and it did not go very well. They had major plumbing issues in the bathroom. It was very unfortunate. We watched some girl throw up on her friends.
Wait, plumbing issues. So Nickelback was there.
No. No.
Oh,
I wasn't giving you that. I wasn't giving you that one. But it was great. Music in general is it's so good for your soul.
I love. Yeah,
It'll heal you in ways that you didn't even know you need to be healed. It'll make you cry at the gym.
I know.
I cry at the gym all the time. I cry at the gym just because I get a really good pump in, and I'm like, oh my God, that feels so good. And then I'll cry.
Yeah. Well, I cry when I'm at the gym and I get a really good pump, and I come home and I tell my wife, I'm like, oh, I got kicked by a horse, and she's like, you're stupid.
She's like, where? I don't see you. You said you've been working out, right?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
John Daly Antelope never lets me down though.
I'm a fan of the antelope. The SIG is 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else?
I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming in.
No problem. I love it out here. So I come to church out here
Well,
every Sunday.
yeah, you're free to come hang out with the donkeys.
Come hang out with the
whenever
donkeys and
yeah.
the dogs that
Yeah.
bark like they're going to rip my face off.
Those dogs.
They're wild.
They are totally wimps,
They're
but
so
they bark
loud.
like they're,
Yeah. But they do. I told her they do torment the pool guy, and I love it.
the pool guy comes in with his little
Yeah,
pool
he's-
thing. He's
It's so awesome. The one day I'm like, if you just put your hand out, they'll come sniff it, and then you can pet them. Oh, well, he's barking. I'm like,
he'll learn.
yeah.
Maybe. He hasn't yet, but he will eventually.
How long has he been your pool guy?
A long time. well over a year. Maybe 2.
We might be past that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'll forever
But
be
it's fun for
terrifying.
us. It's
it is. Yeah,
You just stand there and just watch him be terrified.
yeah. And we do. We just look at this. We don't even go help him.
just-
Look at
watch this.
idiot.
Watch this. Shut up. Shut up. Watch. Yeah,
The pool guy's here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Grab some snacks. That's funny.
awesome.
Alrighty.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
All right. See you, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.